This month on the Unsquared Circle, the Macho Man resurfaces. Is Trish Stratus coming back? And does anyone know where Christian Cage is going to land? Here are your hosts who find it all so you don't have to, Bobby Black and Wrestling White.
Hi wrestling fans, welcome to the November edition of the Unsquared Circle. As you can tell, we're back, we're your hosts. I'm Wrestling White.
And I'm Bobby Black.
Yes, and as you can tell by the secret, agent from last month, yeah, we were held captive by good old Vinnie Mac.
Yeah, and as you can tell, this month we're kind of undercover. We're trying not to bring too much attention to ourselves because we do not want to be fired by Vince McMahon again.
Oh, no. So, with that, let's move on to today's top stories.
Wow. That glass shattered so hard it busted our shelving back here off the wall.
Stone Cold eat your heart out.
Yeah, seriously, man. When you hear the glass, it's Vince's. Anyway, on to our top stories. Well, this month we have been going back and forth, and I reported a little bit on this last month in my individual segment last month, but about Christian Cage. Apparently, Christian Cage is indeed expected to leave TNA and return to the WWE once his contract expires in December. According to multiple sources, Cage recently informed TNA president Dixie Carter as well as Jeff Jarrett that he felt that it was in his best interest to consider the options with WWE. Now, I don't know. I just think that would be crazy because, he's with his family in Florida and he's not on the road all the time and everyone knows the toll that being on the road in the WWE takes.
Plus, I think Christian's actually doing good in TNA.
Yeah, he's going to go back there. He may have a nice push in the beginning, but then they're going to put him in mid-card status. That's all they're going to do.
And he's going to wish that he stayed in TNA.
Yes, he is. And he's going to sign a 3-year contract. He's going to be stuck in WWE for another 3 years. He may get a boatload of money, but it's not going to do anything for his career. And who knows if TNA is going to let him come back. But anyway, the reasoning backstage in TNA dealing with the segment where the Main Event Mafia beat him down and Kurt Angle brought up the WWE was the right Christian Cage out of the company. They didn't want to be caught off guard like they did with the Gail Kim situation, which I haven't really touched much on. Christian's contract expires in December and he's expected to leave. TNA did plan ahead, however, that if Christian has will in fact re-sign with the company, because there's no official signing yet, but if he in fact does resign, there will be a revenge angle for him. And as well as word is buzzing around now, all of a sudden, that Tyson Tomko, aka Tomko from TNA, is just signed a contract with WWE. So we might be looking either a reunion with Edge in the WWE, or maybe Tomko and Christian are going to be back together there. Either way, we can expect bad things.
Yeah, Tom go back into WWE. Didn't do good the first time after Christian left. And if Christian doesn't go back to TNA, doesn't go back to the WWE, yeah, it's going to suck for Tom Cole, I can guarantee it. Now, on the more top stories, with Batista, his short title reign, the main reason Jericho took the title away from Batista was because the WWE didn't want to really jump into a Batista versus Cena with no build-up. Now Jericho's the heel champion, heading into a big showdown with the returning Cena. And WWE plans to come back to Cena Batista in a few months. Probably at WrestleMania. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah. But with Cena winning the title at Survivor Series, now all of a sudden they're going to, it'll probably be Jericho and Cena until Royal Rumble time, and then all of a sudden it'll be the big build-up for Batista and Cena. So
Cena, the Wolverine of the WWE.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, let's look at Ric Flair.
Woo!
Ric Flair has addressed rumors recently of a possible retirement match in Japan. Now, Ric Flair has come out and said that there's no truth to these stories and that it is just propaganda. He does not want to tarnish his retirement match with Shawn Michaels in any way, shape, or form. But Ric Flair has come out saying that he's going to probably be doing a reality show, and I'll have more details on that when I get more.
Ric Flair reality. Woo! Woo! Reality show on VH1. Hogan knows best? No, it's going to be Flair knows. Woo! Best. Woo! Speaking of former retirees of the WWE, former WWE, WCW, and TNA star Scott Hall, he returned to the ring this past month after a rumored suicide attempt a few weeks ago that left him hospitalized near his home in Florida. Hall wrestled for Juggalo Championship Wrestling, the promotion run by the Insane Clown Posse, which is a rap group.
And finally, at the end of our top stories, on the November 24th edition of Raw's ratings did a 3.3, and I don't know if you guys look at my ratings aftermath that I usually put at the end of part 1 every month, but if you know, WWE's really been struggling to stay above the 3.0 mark. But this past Monday, they did a 3.3, which that means that their ratings are up by 14%. So that means that John Cena walked back in the door, walked into the ring, beat Jericho, and ratings popped 14%. What were all these people doing?
They like Cena. Cena's the new Austin and Rock.
I guess so. But anyway, so that's how that goes. I guess that's the business.
See, without John Cena, they couldn't see the ratings. And on that note, we're going to move on to our individual news. Bobby?
Thank you. Alright, well, let's talk about drugs. This past month, a video of WWE Hall of Famer Rowdy Roddy Piper has surfaced showing Roddy smoking marijuana from a bong. Great role model for us kids. We grew up with him. Next, moving on, is the Brian Kendrick. He has failed a test for pot with the WWE wellness policy 12 times. So as a result, this is probably why his push in the company has been leveling off, and he really just, from what sources say, he really just doesn't care. And he's just going to do it regardless. So we'll probably, in the cutbacks, probably see him going if he doesn't shape up. So anyway, let's move right on along. Eric Bischoff this past month was talking a little bit about Hulk Hogan's Celebrity Championship Wrestling. Since they've started, they said that they are very happy with how it's going, and they said that they've had great ratings, good numbers, and good reviews. From who? This show is awful. Any show with Danny Bonaducci on it, I ain't watching. Sorry, can't do it. I'm going to have Wrestling White watch it, because I can't do it. Anyway, moving on, John Cena reveals his most embarrassing moment this past month, and I am very happy to report it to you. This past month, John Cena stated that his most embarrassing moment ever in and out of the ring was when he was wrestling Scott Steiner in Winnipeg. Now, I'd be pretty embarrassed if I was wrestling Scott Steiner too, but that's not the reason why he was embarrassed. The reason why he was embarrassed was because when Scott Steiner gave a DDT to John Cena, he had food poisoning. So he rolled outside the ring, went under the ring, and puked. While doing that, he pooped his pants.
Ew.
That's terrible. Alright, well, let's move on. TNA has been doing some recent cutbacks, as the Joker reported last month, although he was a little more crazy. But they released 2 of their backstage agents this past month, being Pat Kenny, which is Simon Diamond, and Glenn Gilberti, which is a.k.a. the Disco Inferno. And also former X Division superstar and former X Division champion in TNA, Senshi, was actually at a SmackDown taping that maybe Senshi is going to be jumping ship. So anyway, that's it for my news.